Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Motivational Monday, episode 8. On today's episode, I wanna have a bit of a discussion, if we will, with the changing of this season. It's a changing of a time. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, summer's coming to an end soon. It's August, I think around September 23rd, 24th, 25th, that kind of range is when fall is coming. So really, you can almost feel it. I feel like I can feel the change, and fall is one of my favorite times of year. But let's end this summer off great. If there's something you wanted to really do this summer, or there was a plan that you really want to do it. Do it. I talked about ending procrastination in maybe episode 6. Maybe that was the last episode that I did, but let's end this summer off with quality discipline. Let's be extremely disciplined here, guys. Let's stay disciplined in through fall, because I look at Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas as a time where if people wanted to be less disciplined, I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. But let's keep the August vibes high. Let's keep this high summer vibe, and let's take it into fall. Fall is still a couple weeks away, probably 4 or 5 weeks away. But let's end this summer off great. That's what I'm here to discuss with you guys. Let's end this summer off here great. Is there something that you wanted to do it. Is there something that maybe you were putting off, something that you didn't do? Let's get it done. Let's end this summer off, and let's end this summer off in a bang. Let's end this summer off so good that when summer comes around next year, we have something to look forward to. Like, oh, I remember how locked in I was last summer and all the effort that I put in. You can save that, and you can keep that in the memory bank. And then when it's time for the next summer, guess what? You know what you were able to do when summer's that time. Every year when summer comes around, you lock in, or you know that you're going to get things done. For me, there was a couple of things that I wanted to do this summer. As one of my main things I wanted to do was I wanted to get new tires for my car, and I wanted to start my podcast. I ended up starting my podcast and getting new tires for my car. So those were kind of like my big to-do lists of the year, and I ended up accomplishing them. And last year, I was very focused, very disciplined, probably more disciplined than I am now, where I look at that time in my life, which we've talked about this before, and I don't want to, repeat the same things over again, but let's end this summer off great. Was there something that you needed to do? Was it, I need to get an oil change? Did I want to start working out? Did I want to start increasing my workout load? Did I want to start shifting into a new vibrational frequency? Do I want to be more positive, more negative? Let's start this vibe going, because for me, fall is the best time of the year. It's cooler, it's calmer. There is going to be more temptations though. So start strong now. With 5 weeks to go, let's start strong and get good foundations. If we get good foundations now, we're going to be able to take those into the fall time, into the time where it's cooler. We have pumpkin pie, Halloween's around the corner, where there's going to be more temptations. There's going to be more things that are going to want to pull you each way. Let's start with really good discipline habits here at the end of this month. So I want everybody to sit there. Were there things that you wanted to accomplish, or where are you at now in your life? Do you think you could be more disciplined? Are you maybe the most disciplined you've ever been? And can you take that even further and apply that into fall? Because I look at fall as a time that is super enjoyable. Football is coming back on. There's going to be food. There's going to be food temptations, whether you're trying to be in the best shape you can be in, or you're just trying to limit down on the junk food. What are the things that you're looking at as summer in a total? Were there things that you wanted to accomplish, like I said, and I'm reiterating again, that you didn't accomplish? Or were there things that you accomplished that you did and you enjoyed them? And whatever you can think of, look at the positives here. Are there negative setbacks? Let's look at where we are now. Okay, so we're into mid-August. It's about August 15th. Here's a little cameo of my dog here. You guys hear him jingling around in the background in all these videos. This little slice of life right here. This little sweetie. Let me set you down, little fella. A little cameo there for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. He loves to disrupt while I'm filming, but the show must go on. So, look at some of the positive things. Like, get in the chart here. What were positive things that you did in summer? What were positive things? Because we got 4 more months at the end of the year. So if we're looking at seasons and quarters, we got 4 more months to go. What can we accomplish? What were the positives? Did you accomplish the things that you wanted to accomplish? Did you acquire the discipline you wanted to acquire? Did you start the things that you wanted to start? Where are you at right now in your life? Before this change into fall, where are we at? And if we're at a point where it is a negative, I understand. I've been there. I feel like I didn't start this year off the best. There were things that I wanted to do that I didn't start off. And things happened in about the first 6 months of the year that I didn't like, that were negative events to me. And how do we so if I'm looking at it from that perspective, okay, let's hit that reset button. We're heading into the back half of this year. Let's make this back half of this year, and let's take it into the new year if we want to get to that point. So let's look at what we did in the summertime, just to really narrow it down. Were you extremely disciplined in the summertime? Were you not? Look at the positives. Start with the positives first, so you have a good positive mindset. Start with the positives. So like I said, for me, the positives were the fact that I got to start my podcast and I got new tires for my car. My tires on my car were like bad. I thought they weren't as bad as they were when I got new tires. I was like, oh my God, like honestly, if I was to continue to ride on them, there would be no way I wouldn't pop it or something bad would happen, because they had like 0 tread on them at all. So I got new tires and I started my podcast. Those were the 2 big things I wanted to get done this year. I wanted to get at least my podcast started in January. It took me till late June. So that was a little bit of a step back, but as I've stated in other videos, things like that happen. And I think this was the perfect time to start it. Compared to if I started it back then, I probably would have been inconsistent, wouldn't have gotten the videos that I've needed to get done, started this thing off right. It would have been inconsistent here and there, and then maybe I would have just quit it altogether and said, it's time for me to go look and do something else. That could have been the case, who knows? But the positives. So those were some positives of the year for me. I believe from comparison, I have the best physique, or I'm in the best shape that I've been in my entire life. That's a big plus for me. So just looking at the positives, look at the negatives. I had negative experiences this year for myself. Just negative things have happened to me. Unfortunately, some family and friends have passed away this year. And obviously, a lot of my favorite fighters have lost, which I'm such an invested fan. Seeing them lose blows as well, especially if I have negative things going around. So just negative things, not as a good mindset as I was last year, not as locked in as last year. So those would be the positive and negatives. And now I'm heading into the back half of this year. We still have September, October, November, December. Let's still make this year, let's still have these last few seasons, and let's end this summer off with a bang. So that was over the whole year for this summertime. I mentioned the 2 things that I did, some of the negatives. It took me longer than expected to do those things. So that would be a really good list there, and that would be my list. So for me, I would look at those positives, I would look at the negatives, but where can I do better? Where can you do better? And I want you to think about that. So we have the positives. Let's enjoy those positives. Let's let the positives ring through more than the negative. Let's not focus on the negative too much, but let's take those negatives at face value. Were there certain things that you didn't get done? Did you not enjoy the summer that you should have enjoyed? Did you take advantage of the summertime? Not take advantage of it. Let's say it was really nice weather and you didn't go outside as much as you wanted to. Whatever it is, look at those positives and negatives. And let's go into fall with a good mindset here, because it's a changing of the seasons. It's a changing of a vibe. I feel autumn is a completely different vibe. Summer's got a little bit more lively energy. Fall's got a little bit more of a chill, cool vibe where maybe the discipline might not be there, where maybe you might start slacking on your to-dos. Things like that you might be slacking off on because of the fact it's just a really nice time. It's just a cool, mellow, chill vibe. And I love fall. It's my favorite time of the year. Just the vibe, the energy. October is my favorite month. I'm born in February, but October is just my favorite because I just love the vibe of October. There's some reason, like when I think of October, November, even as a kid, like the times through school, whether it's rainy or if it's cool, the leaves. I don't live in a place where, we get a ton of leaves or anything like that, but you still get a little bit of it. You just get it in a smaller dose than what you would if you lived in the Midwest or up north in those areas, or lived in areas where the leaves changed color and the leaves fell and you rake them. And that's kind of the changing of the season. And I want to look and I want to take the experience of the changing of the seasons and let's get a change in our life. Where if we're in a bad spot, if we're in a great spot, let's continue being in a great spot. Let's take the high of the summer and let's continue it on. If you felt this year where I was at, or everything in general in the summer, you didn't get done. I've said it. I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry for repeating myself, but where you look at the summer, if it was a sucky summer for you, or if it was a really good summer, let's take that high and let's take it into the fall time. Now, mainly this would ring true if it was more of a negative experience. If you had a negative experience in summertime, we still have 5 weeks left. To me, it feels more like fall now than it does not any other time, but it feels more fall to me than I would consider summer. Where I'm at, it's still really hot, but it's the vibe. Kids are back in school. Football's coming back on. To me, that is when you can kind of tell the changing of the seasons, where May feels more summery than August does for me, in my opinion. But if you didn't have a good summer and things just sucked and you're just in a bad position, whether you had to go back to school or you didn't enjoy the summer that you should have, or I could go on and just name everything. Let's start some foundations. Look at those negatives. Okay, for me, over the whole year, I'm not as focused and locked in as I should be. So let me get focused and locked in. What are the steps that I can take to that? You have to kind of break things down and make them a digestible kind of source. You want to kind of break things down and think intellectually about them. Where if I am being extremely negative, why am I being negative? Are there certain things? Am I crashing out? Am I this? Am I that? Was there some things, particularly in summer? Why didn't I get the things I wanted done? Why wasn't it a good summer? Let me look at it on paper here. Did I go do the things that I said I wanted to do? That's a huge thing. When you make a commitment to yourself and you tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do this summer, and then you don't do it, there is a little bit of a battle there. You're upset because you told yourself this is what you were going to do and you didn't do that. It's very important, and it's a very important psychological thing to keep that self-belief and keep yourself in a positive state of mind. If you say, hey, I'm going to go do this, and you go do it, like if you're like, I'm going to do 100 push-ups, and then you do 100 push-ups, then you get yourself in a disciplined zone. Or just in a general consensus, you don't have a negative connotation with yourself. Where if it was, I'm going to do this, and then you didn't do those in a day, now you don't trust yourself as much as you would. Now there's a little bit more doubt because, I said I was supposed to do this, said I was supposed to do that, and I didn't. So if there was something you were supposed to do and you didn't acquire or you didn't get it done, why didn't you get it done? What were the specific things? Let's not immediately just be like it's super negative. We are in a changing season. We're changing into fall. Fall is a great time of the year. What are some steps that you can take now to recover the damage? Or if you, again, I'm going either way. If it was super positive, you want to take that same energy, take those same steps that you have and duplicate them into fall, duplicate them into winter, duplicate them into the next year. Just continue to duplicate and adjust for the person that you are. But if you are in the position where it wasn't a good time for you and summer wasn't good, then adjust, fine tune. We still have 5 weeks left. If you lock in now for 5 weeks, or you even lock in for 2 weeks and get what you needed done, all it does is take 2 weeks to recover the amount of damage that you've done in the summertime. So The point I'm making of this video was supposed to be a bit of a changing of the guard. How can we change through this season? As in, not even just a season changing as in season. I'm trying to do it a little bit double entendre here, where it is changing to fall, but also changing a season of who you were in the summertime to where can we go in the fall. And this is for people, whether or not you had a good or bad experience. If it was bad, I am saying, what can we do now to fix what was bad so we can end this year with 4 months and at least end it on a high note, or end summer on a positive note to where you don't have that negative connotation with said years. So, like I said, break it down, find digestible things, or make it a digestible subject where, what did I do wrong? If I made a commitment and I didn't go through on that, have I been negative? Did I not, again, enjoy it? Where there is sometimes, I do this a lot where I remember last year I was so in tune for fall and I was so ready for fall. Summer came around, I'm like, I'm ready for fall, that you don't take a step back and enjoy the moment you're living in. You don't enjoy summertime and you don't appreciate summertime. So when the time fall gets around, you look back and you're like, man, I really miss summer, but you didn't appreciate summer. You didn't live in that moment and absorb the summertime as you should have. And I did that all the time. What are the steps that we can make now? That is going to be the point of this video. And that is the point of the Motivational Monday episode 8, I believe, is what are the steps that you can make now? If you had a bad summer, a bad week, whatever the case may be, what are the steps now that we can continue to make this end of the year great? Because we're ending into the back half of the year, which is crazy. 2026 has gone by like that. I remember feeling it just a couple months ago like it was my birthday. My birthday, again, I said I'm from February, was 6 months ago. It's actually, filming this, I'm born February 15th, 2006. Today is August 15th, 2026. So it's already been 6 months since my birthday. So I am basically 20 and a half right now filming this video. From here on out, for the rest of this year, I am going to be closer to 21 than I am 20. That makes sense because we're halfway through. So this is supposed to be a positive. It's a positive. Is we're all on a journey here. The times are changing. I really wanted to talk about fall and how exciting I am for fall. And fall is a very exciting time, and I'm very, very excited for fall this year just because of the vibe, the changing. It cools down. Things become more enjoyable. The food, the family. And I'm saying, let's take a negative experience that we've had this year, which I can relate to anybody if you're having a negative experience out there. My negative may not be as big as yours, and your negative may not be as big as mine. But if we both had a negative experience, whether it was in July or whether it was at the start of this year, let's end this year off on a high note. And we're gonna look back at this episode, and I'm gonna bring this up on New Year's Eve. I don't know when New Year's Eve is, but I will have, no matter what day January 1st is, that will be the Motivational Monday of the start of the year. We'll look back at this video and let's end this year strong, guys. We're heading into the new season. Let's bring a new vibe, a new energy. Whatever has happened in summer, whatever happened in spring, whatever happened in the additional 8 months of the year, let's start fresh. It's a new starting point. It's a Monday. The reason I did Mondays to begin with was because Monday, to me, I look as a fresh start. Whatever happened to you the week before, whatever happened to you Sunday or Saturday, if you had a bad week, if you had a good week, Monday is a reset. Monday hits the reset button. We're in a new week now. If you had a bad week, guess what? It's a new week. Let's go through and let's look at the mistakes that we made, and let's look at the mistakes that we've made, adjust our skill set and adjust ourselves, and go out here and execute a good Monday. Or a good week, I mean. So I'm kind of doing it in a really ridiculously cringe way. I'm not trying to be cringe, but it's the way that I'm executing it. I mean, if you had a bad Monday. If we look at a bad Monday, or you had I'm all over the place. Let me break it down here. If your week last week was bad, today, on Monday, forget about last week. We're starting fresh this week. Look at what maybe you did wrong last week. What were the negatives? What were the low points? Let's come in here with a fresh mindset. Let's clean the slate. We can leave that to last week. Let's leave that vibe. Let's leave that energy. Let's start fresh this week, and let's go and put one foot in front of the other to get over what happened and what happened to us or happened to you. I'm saying us as in me and the people watching this. So to get over those negative things that have happened, whether it was negative or just a sucky week, and let's look at a positive, and let's start Monday off positively. That's why the reason I do Motivational Mondays, because Mondays suck. Nobody likes Mondays. It starts when you're a kid and you have to go to school on Monday. That sucks. But I want people to look forward to something, and I look at Mondays as a fresh start. Whether you had a bad week, whether you had a good week, a new week is here. We can leave the energy to last week. If it was a good energy, maybe we keep that at good energy and we keep it going through the next week and the next week and the next week, and then we stay in a positive, peaceful state of mind. If it was a really bad week, which everyone gets a really bad week. Sometimes you get a bad week. Maybe it was a bad day that just disrupted your whole week. Look at it now as in Monday is a fresh start. And look at it now if you even want to go more symbolically. We are heading into the back half of this year. It is fall. Let's take all that negative energy or positive energy. We either keep the positive energy or we get rid of the negative and we leave it in summertime and we take something in to fall. If you've had a negative year or had a negative summer, I'm here with you. I would say I've had a little bit of a negative year in my own eyes, and in myself, I've had a little bit negative of a year, things I'm not proud of and things that have happened to my own self that I won't necessarily break down and get into, but we can take that and we can leave that to that time, and we can break away from that and say, you know what, we forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we have made, and we can move on. And that is what I want this episode to ring true to, is you got 5 weeks until autumn or fall. Bad or good, leave that negative energy and break away from the bad things that you've done in summer, and let's make good habits in time for fall and November, December. And it's a tough time. I really like doing this because it's a tough time to stay disciplined. So you get to it's a test, because Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas is a tough time to stay really disciplined. You might skip a workout to see family and friends. For me, that would be a good qualify. That would be an okay reason to miss out on a workout or miss out on being a little less disciplined in time of the holidays. But let's keep discipline up until that point. Let's keep the discipline and start good habits. Start the good habits now. Start the positive energy. Keep everything up. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. I was kind of all over the place with it. I'm all over the place lately. I'm really scattered. I'm trying to piece everything together in a good way. And I hope it was a little bit understandable. To break it down one last time for you, just to make sure you guys get it, is let's start fresh in fall time. We got 4 months to end this year off. You could have had a really terrible 8 months. Less 4 months, let's start something. If you go disciplined for the next 4 months, it will eradicate the last 8. Trust me on that. If you're disciplined, if you went disciplined 1 month out of 11, but that 1 month you got everything you need to do done, and now you look at that as okay, I know this. Now you know where you can go. You can just apply yourself. So I hope everybody enjoys this video. If you've had a negative time in summertime, a new season is coming. A new beginning is here. Let's end this year off with a bang for you guys. Let's start fall off with a bang. And let's get into a good mind, because this is the time where, to me, is a little bit more fun. There's a little bit more fun energy, because you can go outside. It's not 1,000,000 degrees. There's a good vibe. There's just a good vibe. It's family, it's friends. There's positivity in the air. It's more chill and laid out than what I would say a summer and a spring is. So enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. If you got to break it for the family and friends, you break it for the family and friends, you get right back on track. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a blessed Monday.